Welcome to Storytime with Papa C. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Crash on US 1, 1997. It was late, about 1 o'clock in the morning. I had just gotten off shift and was sitting at a stop sign on US 1, minding my own business, when a car blasted past me like a missile. It had to be doing at least 90, maybe 100 miles an hour, easy. I should have called it in to the state patrol right then, but adrenaline took over. I threw on my lights, hit the gas, and tried to catch up. The car ahead was swerving like a snake, tires screeching, headlights dancing across both lanes like it was hunting shadows. As we approached Forest City, I knew we were heading toward danger. There's a set of railroad tracks at the entrance to town. The tracks sit on a sharp rise, a little hill built right into US 1. Anyone with sense would slow down before hitting it. But not this guy. He never even tapped the brakes. He hit that hill doing 100, launched his car straight into the air. For a second, it looked like a stunt from a movie, wheels off the ground, a blur of chrome and screaming metal. But real life ain't like the movies. Just then, a minivan pulled out from the drugstore parking lot. Wrong place, wrong time. The car slammed into the back of the van with such brutal force, it sounded like a bomb had gone off. The van exploded, doors flung through the air, windows shattered like falling ice, and the entire rear of the vehicle was gone. Just gone. Nothing but twisted metal and frame left behind. When I pulled up, I expected to find bodies, just bodies. But somehow, the driver of the minivan, a young woman, was still breathing. Barely. The state patrol showed up just as I did, and one of the troopers helped me pull her out. Fuel was spraying everywhere, the gas tank ripped open, fumes so thick I could taste them. We dragged her to the sidewalk, away from the wreckage. That's when she started screaming, crying, pointing back to the van, yelling one word over and over again. My baby. I froze. There was no way. No way a baby could have survived that. The back of the van was gone. But I had to check. I climbed into the wreck, pushing aside twisted metal and broken glass. Behind the driver's seat, I saw a car seat, bent forward, crushed, but somehow still intact. I pulled it back, praying, begging that it was empty. It wasn't. There was a child strapped inside, limp, motionless. I lifted the baby gently, checked for a pulse, but I knew before I touched it. The child was gone. The impact had crushed the air right out of its tiny body. Smothered. Blunt trauma. You name it. That poor soul never stood a chance. I handed the body to a paramedic. He didn't even ask, just looked at me and nodded, then carried the child to the ambulance. Behind me, the mother let out a scream I'll never forget, a sound so full of pain it could crack concrete. Then I heard a voice, another man's voice, and turned to see her husband running toward us, holding the hand of a 4-year-old girl. He looked from his wife to the van to the paramedic walking away. And then he knew. I turned toward the other vehicle, the one that had caused this chaos. It had flipped onto its side, lodged up against a building. And out of the windshield, the driver crawled. Alive, barely scratched. 2 officers rushed him, cuffed him, and dragged him to a cruiser. He didn't ask about the van, didn't even look at the wreckage. I stood there for a long while. I don't know how long. Long enough for the lights to stop flashing in my eyes. Long enough for the screaming to fade. Then I walked back to my vehicle, sat in silence, and eventually made the drive home. That crash was the most horrific incident I had experienced in my entire career. And even now, decades later, I still see the mother's eyes every time I close mine.